updates from across the world. We're shifting focus to what's exactly transpiring as far as the Middle East is concerned. The United Nations Security Council unanimously approved a final extension of the UN Interim Force in Lebanon. The French-drafted resolution was passed after a US-backed compromise extends the UNIFIL's mandate until 31st December 2026. It then calls for a one-year orderly and safe drawdown and withdrawal in coordination with the Lebanese government, transferring full security control in southern Lebanon to the Lebanese armed forces. Israel, a long-time critic of the UNIFIL, has welcomed the decision. Ambassador Danny Danon has called it good news, claiming the mission failed to prevent Hezbollah's dominance in southern Lebanon and has urged now the Lebanese government to assume full responsibility. The United States, which pushed for a firm end date, warned that it would not support any further renewals. Listen in to what the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Dorothy Scher, had to say.
The United States notes that the first I in UNIFIL stands for interim. The time has come for UNIFIL's mission to end. This is the last time we will support an extension of UNIFIL. The security environment in Lebanon is radically different than just 1 year ago, creating the space for Lebanon to assume greater responsibility. We commend the Lebanese armed forces' deployment progress since the cessation of hostilities went into effect, and we will continue to work with the LAF to expand its capabilities as Lebanon carries out its critical work in disarming.
Lebanese Prime Minister Nawaf Salam has welcomed the extension, thanking France and its allies while reaffirming calls for Israel to withdraw from occupied positions along the border. Let's in fact listen in what Lebanon's ambassador to the UN, Ahmed Arafa, has said.
بما عليهم من مسؤولية قانونية ردع إسرائيل عن انتهاكها للسيادة اللبنانية وإعاقتها مسيرة إعادة بناء الدولة كما تراها الحكومة اللبنانية والشعب اللبناني، كما نصت عليه الفقرتين العاملتين الثالثة والرابعة من هذا القرار، والانسحاب الفوري والكامل وغير المشروط من كافة الأراضي اللبنانية المحتلة ومن ضمنها المواقع الخمس الحدودية، ورفع ما يسمى بالمناطق العازلة والإفراج العاجل وغير المشروط عن جميع الأسرى اللبنانيين. ثالثاً، على الدول الضامنة لترتيبات وقف الأعمال العدائية الوفاء بالتزاماتها في هذا الإطار وإلزام إسرائيل باحترامه كامل.
Global reactions, meanwhile, are mixed. France has praised the compromise, Britain has cautioned against a withdrawal without full risk assessment, and China has criticized the United States for pushing an inflexible timeline despite ongoing regional tensions. With nearly 10,800 peacekeepers deployed, the UNIFIL has been one of the UN's longest-running missions up until date. Still with us on the broadcast is Professor Jim Rice. Thank you for waiting rather patiently as we heard what exactly the UN has done, what the US has reacted, and how exactly Lebanon has also welcomed this move, especially by the proposal that was floated by France. It's been 47 years since the UNIFIL had come into force, and Israel, meanwhile, has long claimed that it could not curb the activities of Hezbollah, the terror that Hezbollah would wage against Israel. What do you make of this deadline now being set, as well as US's inflexibility in shifting it further from 31st December 2026?
Well, I think your intro was excellent. Peacekeeping and peacekeepers are always in a difficult position. This has been a long and protracted mission. Going forward, I hope that the other parties, including the United States, will lend their greater support to the Lebanese themselves in order to keep the peace. I would also hope that Israel would refrain from its constant attacks across the border.
The US at large is looking at establishing an economic corridor in the region, especially between Israel and Lebanon, who've been at odds for a very long period of time. They are hoping that with this move, as well as potential disarmament of the Hezbollah, that's something that they're trying to do in the near future, that this economic corridor could in fact catalyze. Do you see this happening in the near future?
I can't really say. Obviously, increased economic ties and trading and other aspects are a good thing. In the present atmosphere of the ongoing Gaza conflict, though, I find it hard to see this happening, certainly in the near term.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for taking out time, sitting with us